Okay, how many are there? Still people are missing. Where are the people? कहाँ गायब हो गए हैं बच्चे लोग? One more has come. Where are 5 more people?
Sir, they have not joined yet. Maybe
Okay,
they.
we'll start the class.
Yes, maybe they'll join in 10 to 5 minutes.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll start the class. Some are still left, still 4 people, 5 people are left. Okay, fine. So today's class is about firstly is the group planning exercise. Now, this exercise, as I said, is a very important exercise, and all of you must understand the nitty-gritties of it and how to go about it. I will be covering it in detail, bit by bit, and छोटा part करके, and then I will consolidate of what is required to do. And then when I'll send you the examples, then you should go about doing it in a very nice manner. Now, in this exercise, within this exercise itself, there is a part which is required to be done as an individual, and then the last part is required to be done as a group. So this is a group activity. However, the first part is required to be done all alone, and you have to use your complete brain in this, as also your senses, that क्या हो रहा है, क्या बता रहे हैं जो GTO है, what all is he telling you, and accordingly you should be going about doing this exercise. So firstly, the group planning exercise is the second test in the GTO series, and it is a situational problem given on a map model. तो इसके अंदर आ जाता है map और एक situational आता है which is given in the form of story or also called a narrative. Now, within this narrative, certain stressful situations are created or which are called problems are presented to the candidates, and they have to comprehend those problems and then identify what all task is required to be done as part of that problem to solve them. Now, how and in what sequence do you solve? So you have to give them priority, which one is more important and which one is second, which one is third, and which one is fourth, like that. So thereafter, you have to give out the possible situations or solutions, okay, and different ways of approaching each one of them. So it has got two phases. The first one is the individual planning phase, where each candidate is required to give a written solutions after understanding, after comprehending what the requirement is, what the problems are, and then write your solutions. That writing solutions also has two ways of doing it. So I will be telling you both ways and which is a better way. And then is the group planning phase where all the candidates sit together to come to a common group solutions, and the emphasis is on the teamwork rather than the individual solutions which you have submitted. Now, this common solution, when it comes to that, introduces a sense of competition, and obviously, again, that friction will be there, a little fish market will be there, and such like things you have to overcome. Now, the I factor should disappear in this part, but for some candidates who I said they are disruptors, they may cause that nahi, ye mera solution hi sahi hai, or this is what should be included, but leave them aside, and the balance of the group should proceed in a very systematic manner to decide on what a common group solution should be. Now, everyone competes and they try to be emerging as a group leader, but the idea is not that you are the most important person. The idea is to ensure that whatever you are talking and discussing with your co-candidates, it should be logical, systematic, and I mean, it should have some weight. ऐसे नहीं कि रट्टा मारो, ये करना, ऐसे करना, वैसे करना नहीं. There should be some logic behind it, whatever you want to get things done. Okay. Now, it is the best activity to analyze your decision-taking ability. This group planning के अंदर जो steps हैं, so they are actually the very good exercise. So आपका आइडिया होना चाहिए कि किस तरीके से चलना है. Thereafter, it is a very simple thing and not a complicated thing. So I will be going about in step by step कि पहले क्या, दूसरा क्या, तीसरा क्या, चौथा क्या, ऐसे करके, and then telling you what is the net you are required to be doing. So firstly, what is expected? So first thing is to grasp the situation or problems properly. जब आप वो narrative पढ़ोगे उसके अंदर जो problems उसमें दर्शाई गई हैं उनको आइडेंटिफाई करना है. Then deal with them in a rational and logical manner. तो आपको अपना लॉजिक लगाना है, ये नहीं कि अपना ऐसे ही कि जो मन में आया वो कर दिया. No. Then understand the nature and difficulty of each problem in order of priority. So ये आता शब्द order of priority, इसके ऊपर इंपॉर्टेंस है कि आपको किस चीज के ऊपर ज्यादा प्रायोरिटी देनी है या नहीं, वो किस बेसिस पे दी जाएगी वो मैं आपको समझाऊंगा. Within the narrative there will be certain resources which will be provided and certain you have to assume or they are described as obvious resources and hidden resources. So you have to identify these resources and put them to use. Now, these resources, what they are and how you identify them, I will be telling you about this resource part. Okay. Then understanding and managing the time required to deal with each situations out of the total time available. So आपको पहले कैलकुलेशन दिखाएंगे कि किस प्रकार से total time available क्या है, कहाँ से पता होगा, and then how to calculate the time required to solve each problem. Now, this time factor is very important because आप उसके अंदर मनचाहा टाइम दोगे तो पता लगा जो फाइनल टास्क के लिए जहाँ जाना था वहाँ आप पहुंच ही नहीं पा रहे हो इन टाइम. सो पूरा आपका जो प्लानिंग है वो फुट हो गया. तो अभी तक मैंने क्या बताया, प्रायोरिटी, रिसोर्सेस, अभी टाइम आ गया. अब इसके बाद आता है प्रोवाइडिंग अ वर्केबल सॉल्यूशंस एट इंडिविजुअल लेवल व्हिच यू हैव टू सबमिट इन अ रिटन फॉर्म and you have to write it in a very organized manner. तो ये राइटिंग फॉर्म में जो आप देते हो तो you have to keep all these aspects in view when you are writing. Do not miss out on anything. तो इसके लिए जो तरीका है वो मैं बताऊंगा. ये भी है ऑप्शन, ये भी ऑप्शन है. इसके अंदर better what it is. So I will tell you this. Then push across your own points of view effectively during the group discussion. अब जब group discussion start होता है तो वहाँ पे जो भी बोलना है साफ, क्लियर और with logic देकर अपना पॉइंट को पेश करना है so that is accepted by the group. Similarly, be open in accepting others' point of view also. Okay, not that कि जो मैं बोल रहा हूँ वो सही है, ऐसा नहीं चलेगा, because you have to be in a discussion mode and think logically and then be acting about it. Okay. Now next is show keenness to arrive at a group solution, not that I, me and myself करते रह जाओ. जब वो आप बहुत ज़्यादा I, me करोगे तो वो GTO will notice it and will put you down. Okay, mark you down. And you should have a little convincing ability when you are convinced that जो आप बोल रहे हो वो ज़्यादा logical है rather than what others are speaking. So then you should have that convincing that logic जो पेश करते हो आप उसको सही तरीके से पेश करना है ताकि सब other candidates also get convinced by what you are speaking. Okay. Now first is the map exercise. So अब ये map exercise क्या है, तो आपको जो है GTO समझाएगा कि एक map वहाँ पे बना होगा on either a plywood or a rexine cloth or on the wall. ठीक है. So either of whichever way it is, either on the plywood or a rexine cloth. So there will be a board which will be marked with a black boundary in a rectangle form, and within that all the markings will be carried out. Now on the top of this board or rexine cloth, the map, I'll call it map, the name of the exercise and general layout will be mentioned. That general layout is in the form of, normally it will be in the form of yellow color. Okay, and the name of the exercise will be there. अलग-अलग तरीके के नाम उसमें लिखे होंगे, whichever exercise comes your way. On the right top corner there will be an arrow indicating the north. So it will be an arrow which side is the north. Normally it is upside. Okay, that upside means as you are sitting in front of you, the north direction is that way. Okay, and then with respect to that, you will come to know which side is south, which side is east, which side is west. Obviously, 180 degree will be south, to the right will be east, to the left will be west. Then there will be color codes. Now, normally the green color is used for greenery, whether it's a forest line or whether a bunch of trees are there, and the blue color is for water. The black color is for normally the dividing lines or the man-made objects, and the red line also, they are normally used for roads and tracks. The nearby villages and man-made constructions, they will be in the form of small squares or rectangles, and certain very specific like mandir and all, they will be shown in the square with a triangle, and on top of that there will be a flat line. So like that, the various things will be earmarked. If there is a railway station, so there will be a railway line passing by, and the letters RS railway station will be marked out there. If there is a police station, the word letters PS will be marked. If there is a dispensary or a public health center, then there will be a plus sign or a PHC written out there. So like this, the various things will be marked on the map, and you should be able to identify. In any case, the GTO will explain to you each and everything and will show you that this is here, this is there, that, like that. The places, the name of the places on the map, and there are some certain places which are off the map. Now, those places on the map, obviously, they will be marked, and there are places which are off the map, they will be placed on the boundary of this square which I mentioned about the outline of the map portion, and the distance to that location will also be given. Now at the bottom of the map will be the scale. Now the scale indicates that how much distance on the map will represent how much distance on the actual ground. Normally speaking, 2 centimeters on the map will be depicting 1 kilometer on the ground. So that means if between two places the distance is 10 centimeters, then on ground the distance will be 5 kilometers actually. So you have to calculate your travel time for 5 kilometers and not for 10 centimeters. So understand that aspect. Okay. Now, so all this will be explained by the GTO, and when the GTO is explaining you, be very attentive. Do not, your mind should not be roaming around here or there thinking something about the previous test what you have done in your GD and all. So just focus here, okay, because this is a very important exercise, and if you miss certain points, it will be very difficult to decode of what the narrative is talking all about. Okay, after this map has been explained to you by the GTO, then the GTO will read out the narrative or the storyline, and will, whenever the name of a place or action will come, some problem will be intimated, he will show with a pointer that where this activity is taking place. Okay, so he will correlate the complete narrative with respect to the map. Now, therefore, the candidate should pay attention as the GTO keeps explaining various aspects of the narrative. The story will bring out a set of problems which the candidates have to resolve in their planning. Now, normally it will be shown that you are traveling from place A to B. Okay, the place A is where you are residing or where you have collected together, and you are traveling to a point B where you are supposed to reach by a specified time to take part in an activity. Now, whether that activity is some competition or some debate competition like that, or some game competition, so whatever it is, it will be defined. Okay, then en route at certain points as you are traveling, some person will come to you and will give out certain problems. Okay, so all those problems will come to the fore. Okay, this problem is happening here, this problem is happening here, this problem is going to happen after 30 minutes here. So with respect to time and with respect to location, all of those will be indicated to you, and these are the problems you are supposed to resolve. Now, after all of this, the GTO has explained you, and he will ask you, is there any clarification? Then you say whatever there is any doubt, you will clarify and get it clarified, and then the GTO will hand you over the narrative to a copy of it to all the candidates in your group. Okay, now then he will give you 5 minutes to read it yourself. अभी पहले जीटीओ ने पूरा पढ़ा उसको, और जो जगह और जो चीजें आई नैरेटिव में वो दिखाई कि यहाँ पे ये सब एक्टिविटी हो रही है. अब उसके बाद डाउट पूछ लिया आपका, then he has handed you over the narrative. So at this point in time, you are supposed to, just 5 minutes are available, so quickly you have to read, and wherever again those places are coming in, you should again see कि okay ये जगह यहाँ पर है, ये जगह यहाँ पर है, आपस में इनका मैप डिस्टेंस 20 सेंटीमीटर का है, यानी एक्चुअल डिस्टेंस 10 किलोमीटर का हो गया, ऐसे करके कोरिलेट करते जाना है. After this 5 minutes, the sheet will be taken back, and then in your answer sheet, which is again provided by the GTO, you are supposed to write down your solution, for which 10 minutes will be provided. ओके, सो उसके अंदर आपको दर्शाना है कि ये प्रॉब्लम्स हैं, इसके लिए ये सब सारी रिसोर्सेज यूज करेंगे, इतना क्या एक्शन आप करोगे उसको सॉल्व करने के लिए, और टोटल टाइम कितना चाहिए. एनी स्पेसिफिक रिमार्क व्हिच यू वांट टू मेक आल्सो दैट यू आर सपोज्ड टू राइट. आफ्टर दिस 10 minutes, your answer sheets will be taken away, and then as you're sitting in a semicircular manner in front of the map, then the GTO will tell you that okay, you can start the discussion to arrive at a common group solution, and then the discussion will start. Okay, so discussion के अंदर क्या होगा वो मैं आपको बताऊंगा. So now understand this, that again there is no leader, so everybody is thinking that उसका solution सबसे अच्छा है. So give your points, the entry point or the serial at which you make your first remark. Okay, so that is important. So that is when you speak for the first time and the group is listening to you at serial number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whenever you speak, that is also recorded. But you have to be logical. You don't straight away come to the solution or resources or time. You first have to identify what are the resources, what are the problems which you have identified. Next is what are the resources and resources allocation. Then the total time available and how much time you will require to travel to and forth and then solve the problems. So if you have heard me right, I said time में जाना, प्रॉब्लम जहाँ पॉइंट पे हो रही है, जहाँ पे आप खड़े हो, और वहां से आपको जहाँ प्रॉब्लम है वहां तक ट्रैवल करना है, सॉल्व करना प्रॉब्लम को, और वापस आना है. तो यानी टाइम किसके लिए चाहिए? टू ट्रैवल टू एंड फ्रो एंड देन सॉल्व द प्रॉब्लम. तो टोटल टाइम इतना चाहिए आपको किसी भी प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व करने के लिए. अब इतनी सारी चीज करनी है तो आप सब कुछ एक साथ नहीं बोलोगे. यू हैव टू इनिशिएट मींस यू गिव द फर्स्ट पॉइंट व्हाटएवर इट मे बी. ओके, तो but you can only identify okay, gentlemen, ladies, we will discuss them very point by point. So firstly is the identification of the problems, and these are the problems. Let others speak thereafter. After sometimes again, wherever the group has reached, again then talk it whether it is about the resource or the time required to do a particular solve the problem. Like this, step by step, keep participating in the group. Wherever you find that there is a clash of interest, or somebody, you are saying A, somebody is saying C, somebody is saying D, so there is a clash कि किसका क्या सही है, then you should put across logic. See, like this, like this, like this. So I feel that this should be the actual thing. अगर आप बिना लॉजिक के बोलोगे और लड़ाई झगड़ा करोगे तो हल्ला ही मचता रहेगा, सॉल्यूशन नहीं बनेगा. So this is very very important. If there is too much of noise, then just give a pause, just see which chess number is creating the ruckus and who are in the accepting mode. So whoever is trying to create the ruckus, so address to that, okay, chess number, what you are saying is a view, but the logical part is this. So tell him like this and he will listen, he or she will listen. Okay, now all along what GTO is watching, the GTO is seeing that your map reading skills, your identification and giving priority to the of the problems, your identification and use of resources, your time management, and then coming to the final solution. And the final thing is that you have to reach your destination to be participating in time, to be participating in that activity for which you had started your journey. So like this, the activity will continue. Okay, now going step by step again like this. Understanding the narrative. सो अब मैं दोबारा से बता रहा हूँ, स्टेप बाय स्टेप चल रहा हूँ। पहले जनरल में पूरा बता दिया, अभी हर चीज को तोड़ तोड़ के फिर से बता रहा हूँ। अंडरस्टैंडिंग द नैरेटिव एज जीटीओ इंट्रोड्यूसेस द ग्रुप टू द मैप, मेक अ नोट, मतलब जो आपके दिमाग के अंदर लिखना जरूरी नहीं है, लिखना नहीं है, ऑफ द डिटेल्स बीइंग कवर्ड। व्हाट आर द डिटेल्स? कि आप कहाँ से कहाँ ट्रैवल कर रहे हो, टाइम अभी क्या है, ओके, और किस जगह पहुंचे कितने टाइम पर, जहाँ पे आपको किसी ने आकर बताया कि यहाँ पे बॉम्ब फटने वाला है, वहाँ पे आपका कोई डूब रहा है, कहीं पे आपका बिल्डिंग टूट रही है, अर्थक्वेक आ गया है, लोग कोई दब गए हैं। Some kind of the problems will be there, which will be told as part of the problem, and the point at which the problem is taking place, and as well as the time in which it is already taken place or going to take place. So your group will be moving from place A to B, as I said, for a task, en route your group encounters a few problems. There are basically 4 problems and they have to be prioritized. तो अब मैंने ये भी बता दिया कि हर एक नैरेटिव के अंदर 4 से ज्यादा प्रॉब्लम नहीं होगी। अब मैं एक और चीज बताता हूँ कि इन 4 में से एक ऐसी प्रॉब्लम होगी जो कि बिल्कुल बच्चों वाली प्रॉब्लम होगी, जैसे कि उसके एक गांव वाले की बकरी खो गई है, या किसी की साइकिल खड्डे में गिर गई है, एंड सच लाइक थिंग्स। सो व्हेनेवर यू आइडेंटिफाई ये चौथी वाली प्रॉब्लम, उसको सिर्फ वर्बली बताना है कि जो जाकर निकाल ले, बस। नथिंग, नाइदर रिसोर्सेज नॉर एनी टाइम हैज टू बी एलोकेटेड फॉर द सेम until it is a little difficult thing and where some help is required in your perception, then only allocate resources or time, otherwise not. So in essence there will be just 3 problems. Okay, so the problem in which there is likelihood of, listen to this, the problem in which there is likelihood of maximum loss of life will be priority number 1. Okay, अभी मैं डिग्री ऑफ डिफिकल्टी के हिसाब से प्रायोरिटी दे रहा हूं, और उसके ऊपर बाद में हम टाइम इंपोज करेंगे, तो फिर क्या प्रायोरिटी बदलेगी कि नहीं बदलेगी वो देखेंगे। द नेक्स्ट इज द प्रॉब्लम इन व्हिच देयर इज लाइक्लीहुड ऑफ ह्यूमन इंजरी टू ह्यूमन बीइंग्स, सो ऑब्वियसली दैट विल बी प्रायोरिटी नंबर 2. Then there will, the third is wherever there is loss of some destruction of property, something like a building on fire, or there is an accident going to take place, again there is required, accident तो हो रहा है लेकिन उसमें भी loss of life हो सकता है, ठीक है, तो you have to weigh which one you have to cater for, accordingly change the priority to on that basis. So then the third is that wherever there is loss of property will be priority number 3, and all other problems will be of lower priority. Like this you have to identify. Okay, so now after this I already told you that fourth priority वाला जो बच्चों वाली प्रॉब्लम है उसको it is called red herring. Okay, उसका नाम क्या होता है? red herring. red herring मतलब कि वो किसी silly problem. Okay, so therefore the net way of giving priority based on this injury factor is save life first, material second, and other things last. तो ये हो गया। अब इसके ऊपर अगर आप टाइम फैक्टर लगाओगे तो इनमें से जो प्रॉब्लम इमीडिएटली होने वाली है नेक्स्ट 10-15 मिनट्स में, तो उसको तुरंत करना है। तो ऑब्वियसली इवन इफ देयर इज जस्ट इंजरी और लॉस ऑफ और सम डैमेज टू सम पब्लिक प्रॉपर्टी, सो वो प्रायोरिटी ऊपर आ जाएगी, ठीक है। तो आप अपने ये मन में चल रहा है, बिफोर यू पेन इट डाउन, ऑटोमेटिकली इन योर माइंड यू शुड जस्ट टेल कि अच्छा ये तो पहले होने वाला है, इमीडिएटली होने वाला 10-15 मिनट के अंदर, तो ये प्रायोरिटी पहले हो गई, ठीक है। इस प्रकार से आपने ये भी सोचना है। तो पहले मन में आ गया कि क्या लॉस ऑफ लाइफ कहाँ हो रही है, इंजरी कहाँ हो रही है, फिर मटेरियल लॉस कहाँ हो रहा है, उसके ऊपर जब आप टाइम का सुपर इंपोज करोगे तो प्रायोरिटी विल चेंज अप एंड डाउन। दिस इज हाउ लॉजिकली यू हैव टू अराइव एट द priorities. Now what are the types of problems? The type of problems may be something like the dacoits are going to loot a bank, or there may be accident where some people are likely to be have fatal effect. Just one sec, you know. Okay, now accident which may be जहाँ पे कुछ fatal injury होने की आशंका है, something like a bomb being planted on the railway track which will be going to go off after say half an hour, 40 minutes or 1 hour or whatever, okay, when the train is going to pass over it. Then a house or building collapse either naturally because of the weak construction or because of some earthquake type thing has come, so there is some people who are under the debris. There may be a bomb which has been exploded and there are already people who are injured and they need to be evacuated, okay, or there is likelihood that some people are planning to plant a bomb, ऐसे करके, or there is a person of importance who is likely to be kidnapped by a group of people who are discussing, somebody has heard them discussing कि हम ये एक्टिविटी करने वाले हैं, तो वो आकर बता रहा है कि ये वीआईपी आने वाला है, उसको किडनैप करने की रास्ते में कुछ लोग कोशिश करेंगे। सो ऐसी एक्टिविटी जो है आपके प्रॉब्लम में दिखाई जाएगी। अभी आई हैव टोल्ड यू ओनली फ्यू, देयर मे बी मेनी मोर लाइक दिस, ओके। नाउ कमिंग टू आइडेंटिफाइंग द रिसोर्सेज। नाउ फर्स्टली देयर आर 2 काइंड ऑफ रिसोर्सेज, वन इज द ह्यूमन रिसोर्स एंड द सेकंड इज द मटेरियल रिसोर्स। अब ह्यूमन रिसोर्स क्या हो गया, आपका ग्रुप में अगर 10 लोग हैं तो वो 10 लोग तो हो ही गए, नंबर 1। नंबर 2, अगर जो आपको बताने आया है प्रॉब्लम वो कहीं जल्दी में भाग नहीं रहा इधर कि मेरे को वहां जाना है, यहाँ जाना है, इसलिए मैं जा रहा हूं, आपको बताकर भाग रहा हूं, ठीक है। सो तो दैट पर्टिकुलर पर्सन आल्सो एड्स अप। नंबर 3, if you are traveling in a private vehicle which is just meant for you, not in a public vehicle, ठीक है, so then the driver of that vehicle and that vehicle itself becomes a resource for you. Then next comes, if there is a road which is nearby, which has been shown, then and there is a traffic which is reflected in the narrative, that means there are transport which is available lying on the road and you can ask for a hitch ride. So like that, if there is a railway station, obviously there will be a person out there who's and it's a manned railway station, railway gate, railway crossing, so there will be manned, so there will be a person out there and he will have some lighting facility, रात के लिए खास तौर से, he will have some flags, red and green color flags, and other resources. If he is staying there, obviously he has got cooking utensils and all those things. And then he has got phone with the up station and the down station. इसी तरह अगर कोई पुलिस स्टेशन दिखाया तो वहाँ कम से कम एक तो थानेदार होगा ही होगा। इसी तरह अगर कोई पीएससी दिखाया तो वहाँ पे फर्स्ट एड की फैसिलिटी तो होगी, बट certainly not of a to cater for a serious injury where some operation can be carried out. So for that you have to travel to some nearby town. तो ये बात समझ में आनी चाहिए कि जो रिसोर्सेज हैं आपको जो नजर आ रहे हैं मैप से, और वही उनका आपको व्याख्या करनी है. So resources have to be identified in terms of men and material. Some resources are very obvious and some are hidden. Some can be assumed, but if you are assuming any resource कि ये भी हमें चाहिए होगा, तो उसको आपने लिखना है और दिखाना है कि कहाँ से आपको वो उत्पन्न होगा. ये नहीं कि हवा से जादू मंत्र से छू करके आ जाएगा. Okay, so be aware of this thing. अब ये आइडेंटिफाई हो गए. अब आपको जो सॉल्व करनी है 4 प्रॉब्लम में से 3 में आपको एलोकेट करना है रिसोर्सेज को. तो फर्स्टली यू हैव टू एलोकेट द ह्यूमन रिसोर्स एंड देन इज द मटेरियल रिसोर्स. अब ह्यूमन रिसोर्स आपने ऑब्वियसली जहाँ पे ज्यादा ह्यूमन की जरूरत है, you have to save life or you have to counter some goons who may be 3 or 4 of them, तो वहाँ पे accordingly you have to send more people. जहाँ पे 2 लोगों से काम चल जाएगा वहाँ 2 ही आप भेजो, जहाँ 1 से बन जाएगा काम वहाँ 1 भेजो. इस प्रकार से आपने डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करना है अपने ह्यूमन रिसोर्स को. जहाँ तक मटेरियल रिसोर्स है, फर्स्टली इज हाउ यू विल ट्रैवल टू प्लेस XYZ wherever the problems are going to occur or have occurred. So you will see that if you have say a vehicle, okay, then obviously the vehicle can fly either on a constructed road or on a कच्चा track. जंगल के थ्रू से जाएगी नहीं. So this will be foolish if you allocate this resource to for a problem which has happened in the middle of a jungle. तो वहां तो वो पूरा वेस्ट हो जाएगा. इसलिए वहां देना है जहां पे रोड या ट्रैक की अवेलेबिलिटी है. अगर वो यू आर ट्रैवलिंग बाय अ पब्लिक ट्रांसपोर्ट, यू कैन नॉट यूज दैट व्हीकल फॉर दिस प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग, बिकॉज वो पब्लिक उस गाड़ी में और भी लोग बैठे होंगे और वो हल्ला मचाएंगे और जबरदस्ती वो गाड़ी अपना साथ ही ले जाएंगे नहीं केस. ठीक है. सो ऑल्सो अप्लाई योर लिटिल कॉमन सेंस ऑल्सो. देन इन सम मैप प्रॉब्लम्स देयर विल बी अ रिवर लाइन शोन एंड देयर विल बी मार्क्ड फेरी सर्विस FS. ओके, सो दैट मींस देयर इज अ बोट अवेलेबल फॉर क्रॉसिंग द रिवर. और अगर आपका रास्ता जो ब्रिज दिखाया हुआ वो 10 किलोमीटर डाउनस्ट्रीम या अपस्ट्रीम है, एंड वेयर दिस रूट इज जस्ट 1 किलोमीटर डाउन एंड यू कैन रन अप टू इट, द फेरी क्रॉस इट एंड देन यू विल बी रीचिंग द पॉइंट वेयर द प्रॉब्लम इज हैपनिंग. सो दिस विल बी ऑब्वियसली अ फास्टर वे ऑफ डूइंग इट. तो इस प्रकार से आपने अपना रिसोर्स एलोकेशन एंड यूटिलाइजेशन करना है. अब आ जाएंगे नंबर 3 पे, जहां आएगा टाइम मैनेजमेंट. सो व्हेन द कंप्लीट नरेशन इज देयर, सो उसके अंदर लास्ट में आएगा द टाइम नाउ इज. ओके, द टाइम नाउ इज जहां पे आएगा, तो यानी कि अभी आपको जब सारी प्रॉब्लम बता दी है तो उस वक्त टाइम क्या हो रहा है. और शुरू में आपको दिखाएगा कि दैट यू हैव टू रीच योर डेस्टिनेशन बाय सो एंड सो टाइम टू पार्टिसिपेट इन द एक्टिविटी. तो वो भी दिखाया हुआ है. तो टाइम टू रीच एंड टाइम नाउ इज, दोनों को सब्ट्रैक्ट करोगे तो आपको टोटल टाइम अवेलेबल टू सॉल्व द प्रॉब्लम यू विल कम टू नो अबाउट इट. क्लियर. तो टोटल टाइम अवेलेबल आपका निकल के आ गया है. अब वो ध्यान में रहे लास्ट वाली बात कि आपको सारी प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व होकर एक जगह इकट्ठा होना एंड अगेन यू हैव टू ट्रैवल टू द फाइनल डेस्टिनेशन. उसमें पार्ट नहीं लिया तो आपका टास्क कंप्लीट नहीं माना जाएगा. दैट मींस यू हैव नॉट केटर्ड फॉर द टाइम to firstly to travel to that location from the present location and be ready to participate in the activity. So this time that is from the present location, how much time you will take to travel to the destination and then get ready to be taking part in the competition. तो ये पूरा टाइम आपको इस टोटल टाइम में से निकालना है. चाहे वो 10 मिनट है, 15 मिनट है, तो समझ लो कि 2 घंटा है. 2 घंटे में से ये 15 मिनट निकाल दिए तो 1 घंटा 45 मिनट अब बचा है, जिसके अंदर लिविंग टेकिंग इनटू कंसीडरेशन दैट वन प्रॉब्लम तो आपने ऐसे सॉल्व कर दी, उसी को बता दिया जिसने प्रॉब्लम क्लियर करी. बाकी 3 प्रॉब्लम्स को आपको सॉल्व करना है. अब ये 1 घंटे 45 मिनट करना है. नाउ suppose if you have sufficient human being and sufficient resources, human power and the resources, then you will be able to handle all the problems simultaneously. That means for every problem you have so much time available to you. और अगर आप समझते हो कि आपको एक प्रॉब्लम को, उस चोरों को पकड़ना है और वहां पे पूरे 10 की 10 चाहिए, तो यानी कि पहले इस चोरों को पकड़ो या बाद में पकड़ो, लेकिन उस प्रॉब्लम को क्योंकि 10 की 10 आदमी चाहिए वहां पे एक साथ, तो वो प्रॉब्लम को पहले सॉल्व करोगे या बाद में, दैट इज सेकेंडरी, बट होल दिस प्रॉब्लम हैज टू बी डन सेपरेटली एंड द अदर 2 प्रॉब्लम्स को आपको अलग से सॉल्व करना पड़ेगा. दैट मींस इन सीक्वेंस, साइमल्टेनियसली एक साथ सॉल्व नहीं कर सकते. तो इस प्रकार से आपको डिसाइड करना है कि कितनी आप ह्यूमन रिसोर्स का दिखा रहे हो रिक्वायरमेंट और रिसोर्सेज जो मटेरियल रिसोर्सेज आपके पास अवेलेबल हैं, और उनका बंटवारा जब करते हो तो उस वक्त आपको एहसास होना चाहिए कि तीनों जो मेजर प्रॉब्लम्स हैं उनको हम जो आप है वो साइमल्टेनियस सॉल्व करोगे या सीक्वेंशियली करोगे. सो अकॉर्डिंगली योर स्टोरी विल चेंज. अब नेक्स्ट आता है, मैंने बोला था टाइम मैनेजमेंट का, और सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट है कि फ्रॉम द लोकेशन, फ्रॉम द प्रेजेंट लोकेशन टू ट्रैवल टू द पॉइंट ऑफ प्रॉब्लम एंड देन कमिंग बैक. तो एक तो ये वाला टाइम हो गया, और दूसरा टाइम है हाउ मच टाइम यू विल टेक टू टेक एक्शन टू सॉल्व द प्रॉब्लम. तो एक्शन टाइम एंड ट्रैवल टाइम, अब ये 2 चीज हो गई. अब ये जो ट्रैवल टाइम वाला टाइम है, ट्रैवल वाला जो टाइम है वो थोड़ा सा लॉजिकल होना चाहिए. अब उसका माने क्या हुआ लॉजिकल होना चाहिए? उसका माने यह है कि अगर इफ यू आर प्लानिंग टू गो जॉगिंग और रनिंग ऑन द फुट, सो हाउ मच टाइम विल यू टेक पर किलोमीटर? ओके, यस, एनीबॉडी, हाउ मच टाइम विल यू टेक टू ट्रैवल 1 किलोमीटर व्हेन यू आर जॉगिंग? या दीपांशु?
Sir, I think it should be 10 km per hour.
So 10 kilometers per hour, okay, which amounts to 6 minutes to a kilometer. बिल्कुल सही है. ठीक है. If you are using a cycle to travel to the destination, 2-3 of you are traveling by cycle, तो पर किलोमीटर आप कितना, अब मेरा क्वेश्चन नहीं पूछो, मैं जो पूछ रहा हूँ वही जवाब देना, ये नहीं कि पर किलोमीटर आर बोल दिया. मैं पूछ रहा हूँ 1 किलोमीटर ट्रैवल करने के लिए कितना मिनट लोगे बाय साइकिल?
3 to 4 minutes.
Yeah, so take about 3 minutes.
2 to 3 minutes.
Just about 3 minutes you take. ठीक है. सब एवरेज पर्सन के लिए लेना है, कोई सुपर हीरो के लिए नहीं लेना है. ठीक है. So don't say you will take just 4 minutes to jog. I'm saying the word jog. I'm not saying sprinting. ठीक है. So like that. Similarly, when you are talking of a four-wheeler, whether it's a bus or a car, so you take 1 kilometer to a minute for on a pakka road and 1 kilometer to 2 minutes for on when the bus or the four-wheeler is traveling on a kacha road. When you are using a, yeah, Raghav.
So if a 4-wheeler is provided, do we have to consider traffic?
अरे यार, तुम वही बताया ना कि सिचुएशन को देखो ना. अभी सिचुएशन को मैंने उसमें कहीं और डाला कि वहाँ पे ट्रैफिक बहुत सारा है, वहाँ पे ट्रैफिक जैम हो गया, ये हो गया. जब वो प्रॉब्लम में दिया ही नहीं है, ट्रैफिक के बारे में कुछ लिखा ही नहीं, तो आप उसको कंसीडर करो कि वहाँ पे रोड जैम हो गया, ये हो गया, वो हो गया. अपनी तरफ से क्यों खड्डे में डाल रहे हो अपने आप को? ठीक है. तो डू नॉट पुट योर सेल्फ इन डीप खड्डा that you are not able to come out of it. जो जितना लिखा है स्टोरी में उतना ही आपको कंसीडर करना है, like that. ठीक है. Now if there is a ferry, the river is say 50 meter 100 meter wide, so you will take approximately for 100 meters you will take approximately 5 minutes. Okay, because उसमें बैठना भी है, फिर क्रॉस करना है, रो करना है, फिर क्रॉस करना है, like that, ऐसे करके. तो इस प्रकार से आपको टाइम बांटना है. तो this is the logic part of traveling to and fro. And thereafter, depending on what kind of the problem it is, that if you are having to deal with some people, कोई एक आदमी है, चार आदमी है, accordingly you have allocated your human resource to them to one, कम से कम 2:1 होने चाहिए. अगर वहाँ 3 आदमी है तो आपको 6 आदमी वहाँ पे भेजने हैं, ठीक है, कम से कम, ठीक है, if not more, so that you are able to overpower them. When you find that they are armed, अब आपके पास तो हथियार नहीं है, so obviously what you will be required to do, that you are supposed to pinpoint or keep a watch on them. So you reach that location and then find them and then keep a watch while one of you or two of you have been sent to the nearest police station to ask for help. ठीक है, तो आपने इनिशिएटिव ले लिया and then you are handing over to the police station or taking the help to counter them. तो अगर वो दिया हुआ है तो तब आपको वो चीज मेंशन करनी है, अदरवाइज नॉट. अपने मन से उनको हथियार नहीं पकड़ा देना. ठीक है, इस तरीके से. तो ऑब्वियसली व्हेन यू आर डीलिंग विद ह्यूमन बीइंग्स, तो आपने कम से कम 30 मिनट्स टू 45 मिनट्स टू मे बी 1 आवर डिपेंडिंग ऑन हाउ मच टाइम इज अवेलेबल उस प्रॉब्लम के लिए, और उतना टाइम लेना है. अगर कोई रास्ते में आपको रेलवे गाड़ी में जो बम पट्टी पर रखा हुआ है, पुल के ऊपर रखा है, चाहे कहीं ट्रैक पे रखा हुआ है, ऑब्वियसली योर एम इज नॉट टू डिफ्यूज द बम. वो आपके पास औजार नहीं है, ठीक है. सो व्हाट विल यू डू, यू हैव टू टेक स्टेप्स टू स्टॉप द ट्रेन. सो यू हैव टू run to, at least 2 people have to run to the nearest railway station from where the train is going to cross or about to start. You have to make the train stop and ensure that the bomb disposal squad is called for by the nearest police station. तो आप पुलिस स्टेशन भेजना, रेलवे स्टेशन भेजना लोगों को, एंड फिर कोऑर्डिनेट करके वो पुलिस दिखाना भी है कि बॉम्ब को डिफ्यूज करा एंड देन द ट्रेन पास ऑन सेफली. तो इस प्रकार से एक एक चीज. बैंक में लूट पार्ट है तो अगेन देयर आर्म्ड पीपल आर देयर, सो अगेन द एम इज टू कीप अ वॉच ऑन द people who are going to loot the bank, who are looting the bank, and obviously if they are armed, अगर mentioned है, तो obviously you cannot overpower them. अगर कुछ mention नहीं है arms के बारे में, then you are in fit condition to overpower them by putting a surprise on them. ठीक है. At the same time, ये अकेले वारदात नहीं रहेगी, because instead 2 of you simultaneously should have gone to a police station to call for help and hand them over to the policemen people. You have to understand that छोटी-छोटी बातें करके आपको टाइम को स्क्वीज दिखाना है. तो अगर जितना बढ़िया सी प्लानिंग आप बताओगे, अगर ये भी कर देंगे तो और आसान हो जाएगा, ये कर देंगे तो आसान हो जाएगा, तो then your plan is more foolproof and more logical, and this is what you should be attempting at. Okay, so having said this, now remember that you have to reassemble at a point, at a common point. कि अगर by chance जो आपकी प्रॉब्लम्स है वो एक इसी दिशा में है, दूसरी प्रॉब्लम एक दिशा में है, तीसरी प्रॉब्लम तीसरी दिशा में है, तो ऑब्वियसली वो तितर-बितर हो गए सब लोग. तो आपने सबने एक जगह, before you disperse to their respective problem areas, you have to pre-decide that all of you will reassemble at this point before recommencing your journey to the destination. At this point obviously has to be near a road. If you are traveling in the public transport, तो जहाँ से public transport चल रही है उसके ऊपर ही वो point होना चाहिए. ठीक. कभी-कभी दिखाया जाता है कि वो गाड़ी जो है आपके पास अभी अवेलेबल है और अब उसके 1 घंटे बाद फिर से अवेलेबल होगी, या जो जहाँ पे बस पॉइंट है आगे वाला, बीच में फेरी है, वो हर 1 घंटे के बाद चलती है. तो अपने आप ही दिमाग लगाना है कि हर घंटे में तो अभी ये टाइम है, 1 घंटे बाद यहाँ पे आएगा, फिर दूसरे घंटे बाद फिर ये आएगा, तो हमारे पास 1 घंटे में हमें क्रॉस करना रिवर को या 2 घंटे बाद करना है. अगर सिमिलरली पब्लिक ट्रांसपोर्ट हर घंटे में एक बार जाती है, तो यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड दैट आइदर यू सॉल्व द प्रॉब्लम विद इन द आवर, पॉसिबल, नॉट पॉसिबल, यू चार्ज फॉर इट, एंड नहीं हो सकता तो 2 घंटे आपको यूज वाला सेकंड वाली बस पे जाओगे आप. ठीक है, बिफोर दैट यू हैव टू बी देयर. बट यू हैव टू इंश्योर ऐसा ना हो कि वो जो डेस्टिनेशन में जहाँ पहुंचना था वो टाइम पास हो रहा है. वो टाइम पास हो रहा है, यू हैव टू फोर्स योरसेल्फ टू कंप्लीट योर टास्क क्विकली. टाइम को आपको टू एंड फ्रो वाला टाइम तो नहीं घटा सकते, बढ़ा सकते. जो है वो है, जो एक्शन वाला टाइम है उसी को आप कमती कर सकते हो या ज्यादा कर सकते हो, तो वही कटौती या ज्यादा होगा. तो दिस इज द टाइम मैनेजमेंट. आई होप एवरीबॉडी इज क्लियर दिस एस्पेक्ट ऑफ द रिसोर्स एलोकेशन एंड टाइम मैनेजमेंट. किसी का इसमें डाउट है कि तो पूछो. एनीबॉडी और ऑल क्लियर? ओके, तो बोलो.
So sir, my question is that usually how many people are given to us that group session?
अरे कितना साफ साफ तो बोला मैंने कि आपका ग्रुप है वो 6 से 10 का होगा. नॉर्मली एनडीए ग्रुप 10-10 का ही होगा.
नहीं सर, वो वाला ग्रुप जो हमारे साथ जा रहा है प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करने के लिए.
अरे यही तो इसी ग्रुप को तो बांटना है. यही तो ह्यूमन रिसोर्स, मैंने यही बताया. ह्यूमन रिसोर्स जो आपका है, जो 10 आपका ग्रुप है वही तो ह्यूमन रिसोर्स है. यही है. उसके अलावा जो मैंने एक एक करके बताया कि अगर आपकी प्राइवेट बस है तो उसका एक ड्राइवर हो गया, या जो प्रॉब्लम करने बताने लगा वो कहीं भाग गया जल्दी नहीं, उसको तो वो भी अवेलेबल हो गया. तो ज्यादा 10 नहीं तो 12 तक. ठीक है ना?
Okay sir, we can send them simultaneously.
अंडरस्टैंड दिस इज व्हाट इज लिसनिंग अटेंटिवली. यही आपने अगर मिस कर जाओगे कि जो आपको जीटीओ बता रहा है तो आपका सॉल्यूशन पूरा फुट हो जाएगा. तो लिसन वेरी केयरफुली, बिकॉज़ आई एम रिपीटिंग इट अगेन एंड अगेन आल्सो. किसी को और ऐसा डाउट नहीं है या दीपांशु?
So while dividing the group, is it necessary to divide the group on the spot? I mean to say on the initial point.
क्या मतलब?
अगर सर
जब बता दो दिया, if you are wanting to solve the problems simultaneously, तो वहीं पे डिवाइड करना पड़ेगा कि ये 4 उधर जाओ, 3 इधर जाओ, 2 इधर जाओ, ऐसे करके डिवाइड करना पड़ेगा.
नहीं सर, कभी-कभी ऐसा जाता है कि हॉस्पिटल और पुलिस स्टेशन दोनों एक ही तरफ होंगे, तो हम हॉस्पिटल पहुंच के वहां से 2 बंदों को डिवाइड कर सकते हैं.
वो अब ये मैं छोटी-छोटी वही बोली ना, बच्चों वाली वो जो है वो डिवीजन की यहाँ तक साथ-साथ गए, यहाँ से आगे भेज दिया, वो चलेगा. लेकिन आपको ये मत करने पड़ेंगे 4 बंदे कि जो हॉस्पिटल में जा रहे थे उनको लेकर भी तो आना है, जो हॉस्पिटल वाले बंदों को कहाँ पे है प्रॉब्लम, उनको आप ऐसे बता दो कि वहाँ चले जाओ, वो कहीं और चले जाएंगे तो फिर क्या होगा? So you have to guide them to the correct procedure, and the ideal way is whenever you are sending or wanting to guide some people to a particular location, minimum 2 people should be escorting, so that safety margin. Okay, if this is clear, then we move ahead, and in that then is certain do's and don'ts में मैं आ जाता हूँ. तो अभी मैं जो भी मैंने बताया उसमें से जो इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट्स है फिर से दोबारा दोहरा रहा हूँ. Okay, so this is just a revision type. Listen to the GTO carefully and try to retain maximum when he is reading out the narrative. In any case, thereafter you are reading yourself, so you जो मिस हो रहा था माइंड में, अब आप खुद नैरेटिव पढ़ रहे हो तो आपने कैंडिडेट मस्ट अंडरस्टैंड द मैप एंड आइडेंटिफाई रिसोर्सेज टू यूज. वो नैरेटिव पढ़ते पढ़ते ये सब चीज भी दिमाग में रखना है. अंडरस्टैंड ऑल एसेंशियल्स व्हाइल द GTO narrates the plot. When the narrative is given to the candidate, then you should remain calm and just keep correlating what the problem, where the problem, what the time is, how many men have to be tackled, and all such problems you should be keeping a mental note of it, because this is what you have to mention in your written solution. Okay, be logical and clear in your assessment. There is no right or wrong answers. हर एक का अलग अलग भी हो सकता है. किसी में कहीं पे आप 5 आदमी भेज रहे हो, दूसरा 3 भेज रहा है, किसी एक ही भेज रहा है. अब एक भेज रहा है, क्यों भेज रहा है? He or she has to have reason and logic to it. Okay, ये नहीं कि बिल्कुल बुद्धू कर दिया, ऐसा नहीं होना है. Okay, give priority to the problem logically and allocate available resources to them. Mention all hidden resources before using them. जो भी hidden resources मतलब कि जो नजर नहीं आ रहे या आप सोचते हो वो होंगे.
Sir, you accidentally
Sir, your mic is off.
Sir, your mic is off.
Sorry. Sorry. Okay. So what I was saying was that give the priority to the problem logically and allocate available resources to each one of them. Mention all hidden resources before you are wanting to use them. While writing your solution, do not be verbose. Verbose means बहुत ज़्यादा डिटेल में लेना, crisp to the point, just crispy language. Now, अब इसके बाद जब डिस्कशन चलेगा तो ये सारे पॉइंट्स आपको जो लॉजिक वाले हैं जहाँ पे आपने दिमाग का एप्लीकेशन किया है, तो ये सोचना है इसको तो मैं जब मौका मिलेगा तो मेरे को ये बताना है. ये बड़ा अच्छा लिखा है. सो बी श्योर फुटेड व्हेन यू आर गोइंग टू बी पार्टिसिपेटिंग इन द डिस्कशन. तो इसलिए जितना आप माइंड में रख सकते हो, क्योंकि अभी वो आपका जो रिटन सॉल्यूशन था वो गया, अब जो माइंड में रखा है वही बोलोगे. तो इसलिए बहुत जरूरी है कि आपने जो माइंड में सोचा है, कॉन्क्रेटाइज इट इन योर माइंड, कीप इट देयर टिल द डिस्कशन इज ओवर. ओके, अगर सब डिस्कशन हो गया, यू हैव अराइव्ड एट अ कॉमन ग्रुप स्टोरी. अगर GTO जब पूछता है कि ओके हु विल गिव आउट द कॉमन ग्रुप सॉल्यूशन, सो ग्रुप हैज टू नॉमिनेट वन पर्सन टू नरेट इट. नाउ सपोज यू आर वांटिंग टू गिव द कॉमन ग्रुप सॉल्यूशन. पहली बात तो अपनी तरफ से आपने वॉलंटियर नहीं करना है. क्यों? अगर तो आपने बहुत अच्छा दिया तो यू आर वॉलंटियर, यू आर गिवन इट, सो व्हाट. और अगर आपने वॉलंटियर करके बोला बीच में अटक गए तो ये देखो कि ये तो वॉलंटियर कर रहा था और बीच में खुद ही अटक गया, तो सब लोग आपको, सारे आपके कैंडिडेट जो को कैंडिडेट्स हैं, दे विल वॉच एट यू, ये क्या कर रहा है, हमें सब ले डूबेगा. तो ऐसे करके, तो अंटिल यू आर बीइंग नॉमिनेटेड बाय द ग्रुप, देन ओनली you stand up to narrate the common group solution, number one. And when such an opportunity comes, then you should be confident. Go a little slow. Do not speed up your saying your solution, or to step by step identifying the problem, resources, and then the time factor, and then reaching the final destination. That is how you should be giving it out. So think before you speak throughout, in front of when the discussion is on, or when you are giving the final narration. ये नहीं कि आपने बोला फिर you are retracing. No, I did not mean this. I mean that. ठीक है. So nowhere this should come. Otherwise, you are an inconsistent decision maker. Okay. And coming to the don'ts, I would like to see that firstly, you should not be hurried to speak. As I said a little while ago, you think before you speak, and don't insist on your plan for a common group story. Understand, just give out the logic. Let the group accept your point. Let the group accept. That is much better than you trying to force on the group कि भाई ये सही है. ठीक है. Never be rude to any of your co-candidates कि भाई ये तो competition है, इसको तो हरा करना है, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. ठीक है. सब अपनी अपनी जगह पर राइट है based on what reason and what logic they are speaking. And yeah, so these are certain don'ts, and just stick to this. Okay. अभी किसी का क्वेश्चन? Yeah, Ashutosh.
Sir, I have question regarding the resources. Like, if there is a village, so can we assume that a police station and a PSC there?
Yeah, so it is called a चौकी. ठीक है.
Yes.
पुलिस स्टेशन तो मतलब कि उसके अंदर 3-4-5 बंदे हो गए. अगर विलेज है तो ज्यादा एक बंदा हो सकता है वहां पर. ठीक है. तो यू cater for only one person. और वहां पे अगर वो PS लिखा है तो क्लियर कट है. Yes, if there is a town which has been shown on the map, which is about say 10 kilometers or 15 kilometers away on whether east of the map or west of the map, in the direction where you have to go or on the other side, वो सब ये सब आपका बीच में आपका टिकलबाजी जो है करनी पड़ेगी कि which side would you prefer to go? The side in which you are supposed to be traveling, उस तरफ अगर कोई टाउन है तो you should prefer that over a town which is on the other side. तो अगर खास तौर से जब इंजरी वाला खाल है और कोई बहुत ज्यादा सीवियर इंजरी हो गया है ऑलरेडी दिखाया है, तो then you have to search for a hospital PHC which is at a town or a district level. Okay, so like that.
Okay, sir.
वहाँ पर इंजरी है, फर्स्ट एड चाहिए. If you are traveling in a vehicle, understand that the vehicle has a first aid box. Okay. अब वो नहीं मतलब वो फर्स्ट एड बॉक्स कहाँ होता है, इधर होता है, उधर होता है. यू आर सपोज्ड टू बी कैरिंग इन द व्हीकल. ठीक है. वेदर स्कूटर है चाहे जो है, जब नई नई गाड़ी आती है उसके अंदर होता है, बाद में हम फेंक देते हैं, वो अलग बात है. तो as far as this 4G solution is concerned, SSB solution is concerned, except that first aid kit is available whether it be scooter or car or bus. Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Now having seen this, the next class will come to after 2 minutes, and that is about your obstacles, the group obstacle race and the individual obstacles. So अभी मैं आपको सिर्फ मोटा-मोटा बताऊंगा इसमें कि क्या करना होता है. Then I will be sending the photographs across. और वो फोटोग्राफ को आपने देखना है कि किस प्रकार से क्या-क्या ऑब्स्टिकल्स होते हैं. Those who are going for Air Force SSB or Naval SSB, 1 to 3 obstacles may be a little different. जैसे कि एक Air Force वाले में बड़ा कॉमन है कि कोई वो टायर वाला होता है. ठीक है. टायर लटका हुआ उसके बीच में से निकल कुछ करके. ठीक है. So like that. तो थोड़ा सा एक आध वेरिएशन होगा, but balance they are mostly similar kind. Like that. Okay. So just a 2 minutes break and then we get on to the next class. Okay, so now we are going to talk about the physical activity, and that is the two tests. Now it's a brother sister test. In the group obstacle race, sorry. So in the group obstacle race, the entire group is tasked to cross 6 obstacles. In this, all the group members are supposed to be helping out each other so that you cross over each obstacle in the fastest possible manner. And in this, within your SSB, there are other groups. And as I told you in the beginning, that there will be, say, about 4 more groups just like you. So you are racing against the 3 other groups, and that is why it is called a group obstacle race, because the entire group is crossing the obstacles and you are racing against other groups within your SSB. So that is why it's called a race, that who will come first. Okay. Now, in this group obstacle race, the idea is that everybody, first of all, to see that who is stronger and who is not so strong, physically speaking. Who has got more arm strength, who has got more leg strength. So somebody may have both leg and arm strength. If somebody is an athlete or who has been playing so many games, doing regular exercise, then he or she will be having both arm and leg strength. Otherwise, some of you who are doing only more on your arms or more on, focusing on your legs, so either of the two will be strength. So because you are supposed to be running, climbing, pulling yourself up, pushing yourself up, or pushing and pulling somebody else, so like that. Now, the purpose of this group obstacle race, the race is, we will keep it secondary, but the main is the coordination and the cooperation within the group. So that is very, very important. And I will be telling you the key things which you must maintain within yourself, whichever group you are. If you are able to convince them before the group race, aise karenge, then certainly your group will be able to do much better than others. Okay. And the other candidates who you will be guiding the way I am telling, then they will also be proud of you. So like that. So this is the group activity. The GOR is a group activity, and it's just that the group has to cross 6 obstacles and they have to be crossed together, one at a time. It is not that one person who is absolutely physically fit, he will just run up and cross all the 6 and is finishing and is sitting ahead of the finish line. No. To ensure that the group is completely binded, you will be given a snake. Now, what is a snake? A snake is nothing but a hessian cloth. वो आपने जूट वाला कपड़ा देखा हुआ है, brown color का जो इसका sack बनता है, ठीक है? तो वो वाला कपड़ा a little longish, say about 10 feet long, and it is filled up with waste cotton. Okay, तो वेस्ट कॉटन जो है, जो मशीन वगैरह को साफ करने के लिए आता है, वेस्ट कॉटन, और उसके अंदर भर के, एंड इट इज रोल्ड अप. सो इट इज इन अ राउंड फॉर्म अबाउट 3 inch in diameter and about 10 feet in length. Now since it can be, टेढ़ा मेढ़ा, उसको उल्टा पुल्टू आप जो भी कर सकते हैं उसको, तो इसलिए उसको स्नेक का नाम दिया. जस्ट लाइक अ स्नेक कैन बी रोल्ड एंड coiled up, similarly this particular thing can also be coiled up, and therefore it's called snake. And the group obstacle race का दूसरा नाम है snake race. Now the rule is there for the snake to be carried by the group, and the rule says that when you are not encountering any obstacle, then the entire group should be touching or holding the snake. Okay. And when the group is encountering the obstacle, whether it is first or sixth or any of the obstacle, then minimum of 3 candidates from your group should be holding the snake. So obviously, the snake also has to trace the same path as all the candidates are tracing. They have to travel the same route. ये नहीं कि साइड से पास कर दिया उसको, साइड से नहीं, अगर ऊपर से आपको किसी ऑब्स्टिकल से जाना है तो snake भी it will travel over the obstacle like that. Cooperation and coordination, esprit de corps, are the 3 things which you have to showcase. Now, what is this cooperation? This cooperation is about that within your group, there will be some candidates who are very strong, physically fit types, and there will be some candidates who will be physically not so fit. So obviously, the physical fit types, they have to help out and pull along the candidates who are not so physically fit. So this is the cooperation which has to be provided inter se. The next word is coordination. The coordination is that how should these physically fit types and not so physically fit types, how they should be forming the sequence of crossing the obstacles. So ये तरीका है जो कि मैं आपको अभी बताने जा रहा हूँ. Now, first of all, if you have to ensure that your group leads the way, so it is called setting the pace. तो जो setting the pace वाला जो है, वो candidate should be physically fit. तेज भागेगा, फटाफट क्रॉस करेगा, and you create a situation so that balance of the candidates who are coming behind him or her, they are able to quickly get onto the obstacle and cross it. Then comes the your group. First of all, वो मैं बताना चाहता हूँ कि आपने जब देख लिया कि किसकी फिजिकली फिट, कितना कौन फिजिकली फिट है, कौन बिल्कुल लेथार्जिक है, सो ये प्रोग्रेसिव ग्रुप टास्क में आपने देखा है कैसे लोग भाग रहे थे, कैसे चल रहे थे, कैसे कोई जल्दी हाफने लगा, तो वहां से पता चल जाता है कि कौन कितना फिट है. ठीक है. सो सेकंड सेट ऑफ पीपल शुड बी द वंस हु आर लिटिल मीडियम लेवल. तो सबसे आगे बिल्कुल टॉप वाला, वन ऑफ द टॉप टाइप्स, टॉप फिजिकल फिटनेस टाइप. देन द नेक्स्ट विल बी द मीडियम टाइप्स and followed by the slow moving types, and the last one again will be somebody good and sturdy who will be the pushing type. So आगे वो pull create कर रहा है, जो आगे who is setting the pace, and the last person is the pushing types. उनको जो slow moving types है उनको जल्दी जल्दी करवा रहा है. So now when the first candidate is setting the pace, the medium people are trying to keep a catch-up game and keeping the pace maintained, and then the slow-moving types are being pushed by from the rear by the physically fit person type. So this is how, if you place people in the group, then your group effectiveness, it is called fully coordinated, and your effectiveness of the group will be best. The third is the esprit de corps. कि वो हम बताते हैं कि लड़ाई में अगर एक नारा हो तो आपका जोश और बढ़ जाता है. So similarly, every group is required to choose a war cry. So whether you call Jai Mata Di, Bharat Mata Ki Jai, anything, we are the champions, whatever you want to say. So like that becomes your war cry to pep up yourself and pep up each other all along as you cross from first obstacle to second to third and so on to the last and finish the race. So this is how the team spirit or the esprit de corps is maintained. Okay. And as I said earlier, this is the race. The group is racing against other groups within the SSB. Therefore, it is called the race, the group obstacle race or the snake race. Now, the 6 obstacles which are there. The very first obstacle, this you will find in the armed forces and in the Air Force and Navy also. One odd obstacle, maybe a little changed one. The first obstacle which is there is the ramp. Okay, I will be sending the pictures of these obstacles and you can have an idea. So this ramp is a little longish ramp, and you have to just simply run up and jump. The height, start from the ground level and moves up to a height of approximately 3 feet. At the end of it, there's soft sand below. So you just have to jump down. That's it. So this will be done very quickly, and it's a very, very easy task. The second task is the figure of 8. So in this, there are 4-inch pipe which is used to create figures of 8. From the front side, if you see the obstacle, there are figure of 8 which is made. So there is a lower horizontal bar, there are 2 vertical bars, and there are 3 horizontal bars. Okay, and each candidate is supposed to move from the home side, that is the start line, towards the far side, that is towards the finish line. So from the home side to the far side from the lower loop, there are 2 loops formed in the just as in figure of 8. There are 2 loops, the top loop and the bottom loop. So bottom loop से आगे जाना है, ऊपर वाले loop से वापस आना है towards the start line. Then over the top of the 8 figure, you have to go towards the finish line. Then again come back from the top loop back towards the start line and go towards the finish line from the lower loop. जब साइड से आप देखोगे तो आपका जो ये मूवमेंट हो रहा है, आप 8 का फिगर ट्रेस कर रहे हो, and that is why it is called figure of 8 obstacle. तो ऐसे ऐसे करके जाते हो, आपको figure of 8 बनाते हो, और इसलिए बोलते हैं इसको figure of 8. Okay. Now, one thing you have to keep in mind. हर एक ऑब्स्टिकल में आपको व्हाइट पोर्शन होगा और कहीं कहीं पे रेड पेंटेड होगा. जहां जहां भी रेड पेंटेड है उसको छूना नहीं है, अदरवाइज यू विल बी ब्रेकिंग अ रूल, एंड इफ एनीबॉडी ब्रेक्स अ रूल विद इन द ग्रुप, एनीबॉडी इन द होल ग्रुप विल मूव वन स्टेप बैक. मतलब ये पीछे वाले आप चले जाओगे, पीछे वाले ऑब्स्टिकल के पास जाओगे, फिर से दोबारा करोगे. सो देयरफॉर एंश्योर दैट एवरीबॉडी, नोबडी शुड बी टचिंग द रेड एंड बी केयरफुल अबाउट इट. अभी ये फिगर ऑफ 8 हो गया. इसके बाद आपने आगे बढ़ना है. फिगर ऑफ 8 में एक और ध्यान देना है कि जिस प्रकार से कैंडिडेट फिगर ऑफ 8 बना रहे हैं उसी प्रकार से स्नेक भी फिगर ऑफ 8 बनाएगा, यानी कि वो भी आगे पीछे होगा जिस प्रकार से कैंडिडेट आगे पीछे होए. ओके, उसको भूल नहीं जाना है. ओके, अब थर्ड ऑब्स्टिकल. The third obstacle is the 8 feet wall. There are 2 8 feet walls which are separated by a distance of approximately 8 feet, and they are connected to each other by this 4-inch pipe. Now 8 feet is not much, especially for male candidates or female candidates, because of the height differential. So they may be finding a little difficult until there is some tall girl within your group. So that is very advantageous. That is very good. Now whoever is the first chap who is setting the pace, so he or she has to be very physically fit, and just on the run you have to take a little slide jump, catch hold on top of the wall, and with your strength pull yourself up and just lie down on the wall top. It's pretty broad wall of 1 feet, 1.5 feet or so. So you can just lie down. Now balance of the candidate, he has to hang his or her hand down and that is extended, and keep helping every next candidates. Just pull them up, make them hold the top of the wall, and a little push, little tug. Okay, so from the top. Simultaneously, the person who is bringing up the rear, he or she has to push the candidate a little, because it's just a 8 feet wall. Okay, and then once you are up, you climb up, then you're supposed to walk across to the second wall over this 4-inch pipe. Now here comes the fear of the height. Okay, तो कई बच्चे जो हैं फिर क्या करते हैं कि वो बैठ जाते हैं पाइप में, and then they crawl up slowly and they are holding up the balance of the group. So therefore this is not only a test of strength, this is also a test of the fear of height. Okay, 4-inch pipe is sufficient for you to just walk across very confidently and without batting an eyelid. Okay, so that's how you should be performing. But अंदरूनी अगर कोई जो fear है, that cannot be helped, and this particular candidate obviously he will be out, he or she will be out, but at the same time the group will also fall behind with respect to other groups. Okay, the fourth obstacle is the 10 feet wall. अभी 8 feet wall आ गई. 8 feet wall में जब अगली वाले the second wall में आप पहुंचते हो, वहां से सीधे बैठना है और नीचे soft sand के ऊपर jump करना है, या just turn around, hold the wall and hang, and then leave yourself, land on the soft sand. So either way you can do it. The fourth obstacle is 10 feet wall. Now this is pretty high. Okay, even the tall male candidates may not be able to touch that top, but there is a way. If there are some candidates who have practiced it, then just like a Spider-Man walks up the wall, then this candidate comes running 1 step, 2 step, and he or she holds the top of the wall and pulls himself or herself onto the top of the wall. Okay, and again this candidate is ready to provide a pull action from the top. Now what is happening to the people who are down in that? So there is a way out. Okay, it's an intricate way, and how it is done is that again the person who is bringing up the rear, he has to stand with his or her back to the wall and then bend down a little into a little sitting positions. Now the 2 legs, one leg will be absolutely straight and will act like a stopper. ये इसको imagine करने की कोशिश करो. And the second leg will be bent at the knee and will create a small step. Okay, जो ramp है इस candidate को hold करके रखेगा and will remain fixed. The back remains and he does not slip or slide down when the load comes onto him or her. Now the second leg का जो step बना है उसके ऊपर एक ये fixed step हो गया. इसके ऊपर एक flexible step बनाना है with your hand. And how you cross your finger like this and this becomes the flexible hand. जिसको कि ऐसे ऊपर आप उछालोगे तो ये rest करेगा वो fixed step के ऊपर and then this step will move throughout the candidate up. So balance of the candidate will now come. This candidate has placed this flexible step on top of the fixed step. The candidates down below, they step onto this flexible step and the strong candidate will throw this candidate a little up. The candidate who is going to fly up, he hands over his one hand to the candidate who is lying on the top of the wall. At the same time with the other hand holds or grabs the top of the wall and then this candidate is pulled up. Okay, it has to be a very smooth operation. Okay, so if somebody is very heavy, whose BMI is very high, so then that is the only candidate who will have problem carrying out these actions. Balance of the candidate will be able to do it very easily. Okay, so I don't find that any of you, I can't see anybody who's not so physically fit that he can't do this. This is the fastest way of doing it. Otherwise, the normal procedure is same, that नीचे से धक्का दे रहे हैं और फिर उसके बाद ऊपर से खींच रहा है like that. It will be a lot of time will be used up. So yeah, you have two ways of doing it. Very simple कि ऊपर से खींच रहा है, नीचे से push कर रहे हैं from the bumps and like that you are fighting it out to climb up like that. You are using the whole body strength to move up. Okay. Now to get down from this wall, again the height of 10 feet is pretty high. So there is a rope provided. So you have to catch hold of the rope and then gradually come down. Do not try to jump, you will hurt yourself. Yeah, if you are very physically fit and you have been doing it, very good, do it. But otherwise there is a rope, make use of it. Or if you are confident, then just turn around, hang on to the wall and then release yourself. As you land on the soft sand, you must bend your knees so that you do not get a body jerk. Okay. So best possible manner, I've tried to explain this, but when you see the obstacles, you will understand what I am saying. I will also try to send a video of this crossing the obstacle if I get it. Okay, the fifth is the spider web. Spider web is nothing just like the actual spider web, but it is made of rope. So there is a horizontal pole which is at a height of about 10 feet, and then there are two slant pipes which are there. So in the slant manner, the spider web is there for going up, and the spider web is there to come down. So only thing is, because there are 4 groups of candidates who are climbing the same spider web, the whole thing will be shaking. So you have to ensure that your grip with your hands and with your feet should be good. Do not slip and hurt yourself, otherwise there will be bruises on your body. So ensure that, otherwise it is again a very simple task. And then the 6th obstacle is a steep ramp, giant ramp it is called. Yeah, somebody has put it across, very good. Okay, so this is the spider web. Yeah. Okay. So after this is the giant ramp. Now in the giant ramp, on the home side, that is towards the start line side, there is a square bunny which is kept, and the top horizontal pole is there, which is fixed onto the vertical poles at a height of about 10 feet. Now there is a slant step which is there, which is sort of a bunny which is square in shape, and there are notches or steps cut into it, and these steps are at 2 feet distance, not 1 feet distance, but 2 feet distance. So अब यहाँ पे आता है थोड़ा complexity that you have to take giant strides, and also since it is pretty steep, so there what you have to do is that okay. So what you have to do is, these are notches. In one go, you have to ensure that your speed should match with your stepping up, because if you are slow, then you are bound to lose your balance and you will just swing around and fall down. So therefore, it is a combination of balance and speed that you step, making use of the steps in this ramp up, and then climb 1, 2, 3, 4 and hold onto the top pole. And thereafter, you sit. There is a flat board which is there on the other side. You have to sit down and come down in a very controlled, gradual manner. Do not try to speed up. So these are the things. These are the 6 obstacles. Okay, so now what I will do is, whatever photographs I have, I will try to show them here the way my friend was trying to show. Let me see. Yeah. Okay, can you everybody see the first obstacle?
Yes,
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Okay, very good. So I thought such a big group it will be difficult. So this is the ramp. This is the figure of 8. Okay, the 4 8s are for the 4 groups. Then this is the spider web. This is the double wall. There are 2 photographs, and in the second photograph you can see the person who is afraid of the height, just number 27, how sitting and crawling up. Okay, so the others are supposed to just run up. In the left photograph you can see how this snake is being carried. The stack here. Okay, then is the 10 feet wall climbing up. Now here, the way I was telling, nobody is doing it. Okay, but practically speaking, when you do it, it is very, very fast. And the second photograph is how you are coming down. Somebody is hanging down, and one is trying to come down using the rope. And this is the giant. You can see the steps made in this rectangle bunny. and the distance between 2 feet distance. Okay, and here is a slide down. It is called a giant slide, like that. Okay, so like this, these steps are there. Okay, now, so what are the things to be careful is, now obviously the whole group should be trying to do it fast, but जोश के साथ होश. Do not get hurt. Do not try to push somebody beyond his or her limits. Everybody has some limitations. Accept them as they are. This is not the time to switch करके उनको super human बना सकते हो आप. ठीक है? So the जोश is okay, but do not ensure that you are not getting hurt at all. Okay, so this is very, very important, and do ensure this aspect. Okay, now before you do the obstacles, one thing is very clear. When they are the army men will be there out there, and they will make you do running around before the group obstacle race will start, and same will also be done before your individual obstacle is there. Ensure that your body is warmed up. A warmed up body, first of all, you will find it easier to be able to pull yourself up or whatever you are required to do. Otherwise, you will have cramped muscles, or you will find it difficult for your muscles to take on the load of your own body. So warm up number one. Or agar by chance if you get hurt, a warm body will be able to recover faster than a cold body. So therefore, when there's time to warm up and the soldier is making you run around the obstacles like that, take it seriously and do it in a well dignified manner. So do not think that ये तो हमें रगड़ती हुई ऐसा हो रहा है वैसा हो रहा है, उसके ऊपर आपने नहीं देना है. Okay, so this is what I would like to. Now, any questions as far as group obstacle race is concerned before I come to the individual obstacles? तो physical activity है, इसमें कोई problem नहीं होनी चाहिए. या दिवांशु?
Sir, recently you showed a few of the pictures. There was a red color strips on the poles. What does that mean?
मैंने बताया ना, लाल कलर मतलब
Do they think
you are not supposed to touch it. Out of bounds हो गया, out of bounds. ठीक है, अतुल बोलो.
Sir, that's my question is, can we use that rope for climbing?
That is on the other side. How can you go behind the wall just like that?
Some videos I have seen that this is on the side which we are going to climb it.
How will you get that rope on your side until somebody reaches on the other side? And it's a short rope, it's not a long rope.
ये उधर साइड रहती है. अरे मुझे चढ़ना पड़ेगा.
या फार साइड में रहेगी तो कैसे आएगी आपके होम साइड में?
ओके सर, ओके सर. एक और क्वेश्चन है कि जैसे कोई हमारे ग्रुप में वीक लिंक आ जाता है बच्चा, जैसे कोई हमारे साथ का,
हाँ.
वो नहीं कर पा रहा है, जैसे हम एक बंदे की वजह से हम भी कर सकते हैं इसमें.
हाँ.
तो वो इम्पैक्ट करता है परफॉर्मेंस पे या फिर वो मैटर नहीं करता?
नहीं, वो तो अब उसकी परफॉर्मेंस है, but they are also seeing that who are the strong people in your group. What are they doing about it? ठीक है. What are they doing about it? The idea is that the entire group should act as a team, and they should not leave that weak person behind. Okay.
Okay sir.
So it should be like that. है ना? So understand this. I said the very first part, cooperation, coordination, and spirit core, the teamwork. ठीक है. So this is the very purpose of it. कमजोर तो आपको लगता भी है. अगर आपकी टीम में एक है, चलो मान लिया, तो उसको तो संभाल लोगे. जब अगर 3 या 4 आ गए, तब आपके ग्रुप की तो कैसे करोगे? तब प्रॉब्लम ज्यादा हो जाती है. ठीक है. So then you have to be, keep it cool. Doesn't matter even if you come last, but the most important thing is to show coordination and cooperation and coordination. ठीक है. It is very important. Okay, now coming to the individual obstacle. तो अभी हमने देखा कि जो ग्रुप ऑब्स्टिकल रेस है वहां तो पुश और पुल चला गया. So those who are strong, they are very good. They are ready for the individual obstacles and they are up and about, and उनके चेहरे पर बिल्कुल स्माइल होगी. But those who are medium, उनके पर little bit थोड़ी सी स्माइल गायब होगी, and those who are not physically fit, उनके चेहरे पर पूरी मुस्कान गायब रहेगी. तो इसीलिए मैं बोलता हूं कि जिस दिन आपने मन बनाया कि I have to join NDA or join the armed forces, you should better start running around doing sit-ups, pull-ups, and pull-ups like that. And also, if there is a rope somewhere close by, then you should be trying to climb the rope also. If not climb the rope, at least learn to hang onto the rope for starting में 30 seconds, then increase it slowly until one day you are hanging onto the rope for 3 minutes. अब आपके घर के आजू बाजू कहीं पे रोप नहीं है. So in that case, what you do, you select one tree in the nearby area where there is a branch, and you can a little jump and hold onto the branch. So आप वो लटकने की practice on the branch करो. What will it do? It will help you to ensure that your arm strength is improving to carry your own weight, that your arms are able to manage your own weight when you are hanging. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि आपका weight जितना है उतनी आपके पास arm strength नहीं है. Okay, at this stage also I am ready to climb the rope. अभी भी कर सकता हूँ, अभी भी pull up कर सकता हूँ. ठीक है. So like that. So I would, today is the time, I have a little 5 minutes time to tell you that at this stage also I am representing Delhi State in the National Master Swimming Competition. And this year I got 1 silver medal last year in the 60 to 65 age category. Last year I got 2 silver, 1 bronze when I was the 60 years of age. This year I was 61, and those who were 1 year younger, they come up, so they were pretty good. So they beat me, but still I got 1 silver at the national level. Okay, so every day morning I have been doing from April to November 1.5 kilometers of swimming. Like that. So 1.5 kilometers swimming in 45 minutes only, not 2 hours. So like that much I was practicing. तो इतना प्रैक्टिस करके फिर जाकर नेशनल लेवल पर पहुंचते हैं, तो वो समझना जरूरी है. आराम से कोई चीज नहीं मिलती. Understood? Otherwise, then I can one day tomorrow I will show you all my medals also, so many of them kilos के हिसाब से. So like that you have to be. तो इस खेल में और जीतने में कुछ अलग ही मजा है, तो वो सबको एहसास होना चाहिए. Okay. So that was about myself, just trying to motivate you कि कभी भी पीछे नहीं हटना, आगे ही बढ़ते जाना है. Now when we come to the individual test, तो ग्रुप ऑब्स्टिकल रेस में तो सारा ग्रुप था आपको सपोर्ट करने के लिए. अभी इंडिविजुअल टेस्ट में फिजिकल फिटनेस, डिटर्मिनेशन एंड स्टैमिना, these are the 3 things which are required because this is against time. Group obstacle race is not against time, it is a race against other groups. But individual obstacles में आपको 3 मिनट मिलेंगे, जिसमें कि आपको 10 ऑब्स्टिकल करने हैं, और अगर आप बहुत तेज हो तो आफ्टर कंप्लीटिंग वन सर्किट ऑफ ऑल द 10 ऑब्स्टिकल्स, then you are also then you can also repeat some obstacles. Still the time of 3 minutes is over. That means ये जो 10 ऑब्स्टिकल हैं, they will be numbered from 1 to 10, and the number signifies that how many marks they carry. So 1 to 10, that means the total of 10 obstacles are equal to 55 marks. And if you are very good physically fit, then you can score 60, 70, maybe up to 18 marks. So I have seen that maybe one candidate, I repeated 3 when I was joining NDA, but there are candidates who have repeated up to 5 obstacles. They were so good. Okay, running wise and strength. That strength is relative position, that is with respect to your weight. Okay, so you should be able to handle your weight, and that is what is required. So therefore, if the figure, the number of the obstacle is 7, that means it carries 7 marks. If the number of the obstacle is 10, it carries 10 marks. So that marks also indicates the degree of difficulty of the obstacle. But at the same time, the rule states that you cannot repeat a single obstacle multiple times. You can do that only and only when you have completed one complete circuit of the 10 obstacles. That means हर एक प्रकार के obstacle आपने कर लिए हैं तब. अब ये obstacle जो करवा रहे हैं आपसे, some obstacle highlight the fear of the height, some highlight the fear of the depth, some highlight the fear of balancing yourself at a height. Some obstacle shows that how much weight your arms can support, that is your own weight, can they support your arms, your body weight, or your arm strength cannot support your body weight. So like that. So अलग अलग तरीके के obstacles दिखाए गए हैं और हर एक obstacle का मायने है, इसीलिए बोलते हैं कि पहले तो सारे की धारे 10 करके दिखाओ, फिर उसके बाद आप और रिपीट कर सकते हो. Okay. Now when the group is going to do the individual obstacle, again you will be briefed by the GTO and you will be shown the example of how to perform each obstacle by the soldier. ठीक है, तो वो देखना है कि क्या टेक्निक वो फॉलो कर रहा है, एंड यू शुड ट्राई टू कॉपी इट. एंड इफ यू हैव गॉट अ चांस टू प्रैक्टिस इट समवेयर क्लोज बाय, either your police line is there or some army unit is there or some NCC unit is there, so some obstacles will be there, then go and practice them. It will help you somewhat. Okay, be confident while doing every task. That confidence is very very important. शेकी तरीके से पहले सोच रहे हो, पॉज कर रहे हो, फिर आप कर रहे हो उसको, you are wasting very precious seconds. So when you do each obstacle, just mind को cool रखकर, इस सबने किया है तो मैं भी करूंगा, करूंगी, and like that in a smooth flow, from one obstacle to second obstacle to third obstacle, just like that you should work. ये नहीं कि एक कदम आगे रखा, फिर पीछे हटे, फिर सोचा, फिर उसके बाद you have, even if you are doing thereafter, that means आपका थोड़ा सा डर था and you have overcome it, तो डर तो आया. Okay, तो थोड़ा सा आप cautious हो, तो वो नजर आएगा. अगर बिल्कुल रुक गए और वापस उतर गए, that means you are afraid, you have a fear of that particular, whether it is of the height or the depth, whatever it is. Now these obstacles you can start from anywhere. However, understand that it is best to start from one end and go in a full circuit rather than trying to score more marks. You are first doing the obstacle number 10, then 9, then 8, then 7, because they are laid out not in a sequence, they are laid out in a random manner. So therefore, चाहे रास्ते में बीच में 1 number आ रहा है या 5 number आ रहा है, फिर 7 number आ रहा है, फिर 10 number आ रहा है, फिर 2 number आ रहा है, irrespective, you start from one end and you complete the circuit to save on your travel time. Okay, and thereafter, once you have done the 10th, and if you have time to repeat, then repeat the one which you are finishing first before you go for the obstacle which is having 5 marks or more. Okay, 1 2 3 4 में क्या नंबर मिलेगा? कम मिलेगा, तो 5 और ज्यादा नंबर है वहां पे आपको हिट करना चाहिए. Okay, now again same thing that first of all prepare yourself for this individual obstacle. ऐसा नहीं कि रात में सोते सोते हो जाएगा. ठीक है, so continue to practice, do this running, sit-ups and press up. Number 2, then the soldier is making you do warm up, do it seriously, especially when it's cold and your SLB will be during the cold winters and all. So therefore, ensure that before your number is about to come and you are waiting for your chance to start, the whistle will be blown and the 3 minutes will start. So while standing for those 10-15 seconds also, you do on the spot running to warm it up. Okay, so it's very very important. Now again, fast तो होना है, but जोश के साथ होश. In being fast, do not hurt yourself ever. Now there are certain ropes, there are certain obstacles where rope is involved. So wherever rope is involved, you must ensure that your grip is very tight, and when you come down or slide down or leave it, you should, wherever you are required to leave the rope, then leave it suddenly, not that you grip one hand and second hand. Wherever you are supposed to come down the rope, come down in a controlled manner, not slide down because you will hurt your palms. If you are supposed to jump and hold the rope and then swing around, then your grip should be very tight, otherwise you will slide down and you will land up somewhere in between and not beyond the pass line. So again, you have to repeat it, it will not be counted. So like that, you have to ensure all these things. Okay, so now I will show you the pictures and then send you also across. So like that. Okay, can you see the picture?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now the first one is a ramp. This ramp is a little smaller one, unlike the one in the group obstacle race, but it is a little steeper. So you have to run up and then jump across. So all of this action of running up and jumping should be in a very smooth process. Second one is a double barrel jump. That means the 200-liter barrel you would have seen, which are kept in the petrol pumps, they are cut into 2 halves and they are placed one behind the other. Then you are supposed to come running and then take a leap and land up on the soft sand ahead of it. For the lady candidates, it is 1.5. Then is the third is a zigzag balance. Now here, in this picture, there are the iron pipes which are there and there are gaps. Some places it is a wooden structure which is square in shape and they are continuous. So it depends from place to place. But in this, you have to be a little fast so that you maintain your balance and you do not fall off midway. From one end you start off and the second end you just jump onto the soft sand. The fourth is a ramp and screen jump. The ramp is same as in obstacle number 1, but ahead of that there is a screen. So this is a jute screen which is there hanging on a horizontal pole. Now this horizontal pole, if you foul it, then it will just fall off. So you will not get tripped. So there is no आई में ब्रेक नहीं होना चाहिए कि मैं चोट लग जाएगी, कोई चोट नहीं लगेगी. Now this particular thing is to check the fear of the unknown. आगे हाइट कुछ नहीं है, 3.5 फीट की हाइट है, ठीक है, 4 फीट की हाइट है और नीचे सॉफ्ट सैंड है, तो चोट किसी को नहीं लगती. लेकिन एक मन में वहम या डर ऑटोमेटिक आ जाता है कई बच्चों के, ह्यूमन के, कि आगे पता नहीं क्या है, कुछ भी नहीं है, सैंडी है, पता है, लेकिन क्योंकि स्क्रीन लगा दी तो एक मेंटल ब्लॉक हो जाता है. सो यू हैव टू ओवरकम दैट, जस्ट कम रनिंग एंड जस्ट मेक अ लीप एंड लैंड इन द सॉफ्ट सैंड लाइक दैट. This is a Burma bridge. Now, the Burma bridge, the name Burma is because Myanmar, whose old name is Burma, in the Second World War, this type of bridge was used by the armies to cross so many rivulets during the rainy season. Basically, two horizontal ropes placed at a distance of about 5 feet from intersay and tied to the iron structure. And you are supposed to keep your feet on the bottom rope, catch hold of the upper rope, and then walk across. You can walk facing the far side, or you can walk looking on the sideways. That is sliding type. The normal walk, just sliding walk. Whatever you want to do, you can cross it. The sixth is the Tarzan swing. Now, here is once where you have to climb up a ramp, then you will be handed over the rope by the soldier. You are supposed to hold the rope as high as possible. This person is doing it, and then take a swing. This structure which is there, painted red, where number 6 is written, it is called gallows. Gallows मतलब जहाँ पे rope hang करती है और जहाँ पे लटकाया जाता है वो gallows होता है, ठीक है. तो इसको जितना ऊंचा पकड़ सको उतना पकड़ना है. Then take a swing across the gallows, and after like a pendulum, and then when you are reach the far end and you are about to swing back, that is the time you are supposed to leave the rope. On the ground there is a white line, and you have to land ahead of that white line. तो test है यहाँ से swing लेने का, and with the help of the rope you are swinging across and landing ahead of the white line. Then only the test will be considered that you have passed. Seventh is the double vertical jump. So this is a 3 meter height. The second one is the 1.5 meter height. Then you are supposed to climb up and take one jump, second jump onto ground. Very simple, but this little gap and the fear of the height and this gap, that is again a mental block. You have to overcome it, and in one step jump into the second and then onto the ground. Do it quickly. This eighth is the double ditch. First ditch is 8 feet long, second feet is 4 feet long. For the first ditch, you have to stand, take a leap, catch hold of this rope which is hanging on the gallows. So you have to be accurate. You have to catch hold of this rope, and then with a one swing, you are landing on the middle intervening wall. And as you land, with the second step, you are supposed to cross over the small ditch. Now here comes your fear of the depth. So some people, it's very easy test, but some people just slide down into the ditch. Okay, so they do not clear it. See all the red portions which you are not supposed to touch. That means यहाँ से take off करके you are not supposed to land up on the sides. You're supposed to land in the center of the two ditch, and then take one in one step. You should supposed to be crossing the next ditch also. The ninth is the commando walk. So set of steps up, you are supposed to climb onto a plank. Okay, at the center of the plank there are 3 steps up and 3 steps down. When you reach the top, you're supposed to shout out your chest number, and as you come down, then walk across, come down the steps. Now in this, what happens is this structure is a little shaky type, and when you reach the top and when you start walking, it's shaking. Then again a mental block is created, especially when you climb the steps, because that time you feel abhi gire. So like that. So don't be afraid, it's not going to fall. Just as fast as you can walk up, then walk down and just go across. So that fear, you should just suppress it with your mental strength. The 10th is the tiger leap. Now just in Tarzan swing, so you are being handed over the rope. Here the rope is hanging at the center of the gallows. You climb a platform, and from there you're supposed to leap and catch hold of the rope. So your grip has to be very firm, and then you have to come down in a very controlled and gradual manner. Okay, so if you're not holding the rope with strong hands, with strong grip, then you will slide down and you will injure your arms. So ensure that you are doing it with full focus like that. Okay, so these are the 10 obstacles which are there, and they're very easy for those who are physically fit, and it will be difficult for them who are not. Again, that same thing is there. Wherever it is red, do not touch those places. So that will be out of bounds. You will be required to repeat if you touch them. So avoid doing that silly thing. Any questions in the individual obstacles? Good. So yeah, Nilesh, what do you want to ask?
Sir, isn't there rope climbing in AFSB? I heard it from my friend.
I said there are 2, 3 options. In every SSB, one odd thing is changed. So this is one set. Whether there is a tire or there is a rope climb, the rope climb is generally not there because everybody is not used to it. Okay, so we call it a day and we meet tomorrow again. Tomorrow will be the first the 2 sets of the classes. That is your both the complete tomorrow the group ground test will be there. The complete set. Okay. So